Been on that walk and it's heavy now. Hey, running on my guap and it's steady now. Hey, I didn't want that top and it's been a while. Hey, trying all these pills, how I'm living now. Hey, sipping on that walk and it's heavy now. Hey, running on my guap and it's steady now. Hey, I didn't want that top and it's been a while. Hey, trying all these pills, how I'm living now. Hey, sipping on that walk and it's heavy now.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Flamin', and today I'm going to be teaching you how to edit highlight videos. Alright, so first you got to pick out the banger song, okay? So you got to go with whatever's out at the moment, you know? So I'm going to use Cake. Alright, guys, the next thing you guys have to do is make the intro, okay? So basically for the intro you need 3 cinematics from replays. Okay, so you go to the replays and get your cinematics. So basically you can drop in a solo, like a solo pub, or you can drop in battle labs. You land by the spot where you want to get your cinematics, then you just leave the game, go into replay and get your cinematics. I prefer 3, but you can do 2 or 4 or whatever you want. What a lot of highlight YouTubers prefer, and what I prefer, is for replay cinematics. So the first one showing off your highlights title, it has to be goes over where you are, just straight over like this. So that should be the first one. The second one should be moving away from a specific spot, like that. But what I prefer, what a lot of people prefer, highlight YouTubers such as Numby, Clerke, LMGK prefer, is for the third one to be one that circles and goes up, such as this. If you're keyboard and mouse, you're gonna have to up your DPI. If it's not high enough, you're gonna have to up it if you don't have enough mouse space. Alright, next, what you guys are gonna do is delete the audio. You have to delete this audio, okay? So you gotta be like this. You click on the video part, not the audio part, just the video part specifically, okay? Then you gotta click Control U, okay? Then delete. You gotta delete the audio. Control U. Then click on the audio, delete. Now you gotta find 3 spots in the song of your choice to put the 3 intros. So you would definitely start one here. What I would do, go over to this side and split right there. So you have a little run up to it. Then it goes right there, right? So you're gonna fade it all the way till you get to that part. So fade it to that part so it's like, and then it goes. Make sure you drag this all the way to the edge. Alright guys, now you gotta cut the part where the cinematic starts. So basically the cinematic starts right here for me. So I'm gonna cut right here. And it ends right there. So I'm gonna split that, get this. By the way, if you don't know, it's S to split, and then you delete the parts. And now, what you're gonna do, find the beat drop, so where you're gonna end the clip. So basically this one starts right here, so you're gonna click M, so it marks it. That's the next one right there, that beat drop right there. So it's gonna be right here. So, boom, boom, and that's another one. And the next one right here, and the last one right here. And that's beat drop right there. Alright guys, now that we have the 3 cinematics, what you're going to want to do is drag the beginning part to the beginning of the marker. Then you want to hold Control and then lower this. And now you gotta put the next clip. Drag it. Same thing for this clip, for this cinematic. Drag it all the way to the first beginning part of this, and then hold Control and drag all the way to the end for this clip. Undo it for this one. Boom. Now you have this. Alright guys, so this next part is harder because you have to perfectly plan out the velocity for these to make it look cleaner. So basically for the first one, the one that where it just goes across the ground, is you got for the velocity for this one, so right click to add velocity in the first place. You have to make sure the video part's highlighted, right click, insert remove envelope, velocity. Then you have to right click the very edge right here, set to, and set it to 300 for the beginning clip, 300. Right here, you're gonna wanna do this. So usually you can go at about 20 frames in, more than that probably. Just find a random spot. I'll just do right here. Double click to add another point. Right click that point and click set to normal velocity. And now it should go like this. So it comes in quick, like fast, and then goes to normal. Alright guys, this next cinematic, right click, velocity. This is the hardest one in my opinion. So basically, right click right here, and it's just personal preference for your cinematic. It just depends on how long it is. You're gonna have to mess with this yourself because it gets hard, but if you want to go off of what I do, you can. So right click, and for this, for how long this is, I'm gonna have to set it to 200 velocity because I already edited this before, so that's how I know. So basically you can go like 20 frames in, or just go like, just kind of make it up. So we go right here, and then so double click, you have to double click to add a point, and then once you add the point, right click it, set the normal velocity, and then set the other point right here, right click, set the normal velocity. So you have that, and then go to the very end, double click right here, drag it to the very end, right click it, and set it to, well, I think I had mine at 400. Sometimes if you see your cursor at the end, that means it didn't velocity correct. So you want to go to the frame where just before the crosshair showed. So right here, click, delete, and then hit control, and then drag over. Like that. Like I said, guys, it just depends on how long the cinematic is. It's really confusing, guys. This is the confusing part. But right click, velocity, add the velocity. And then usually people set it to like 450, right? So 450, and then so basically click, you have to make this up yourself. So click, like say right there, see how far that is in, and then for the next one you got to click, make it a little farther in. So like right there, see how it's a little farther in than that one, see like that, and then set these to normal velocity, and go to the very end, double click, add this point, right click, set to 450. Now as you see, this doesn't work because this black thing shows up, but this is what you normally should do, but it doesn't work for this song in this part of the cinematic for how long it is. So you're gonna have to change it up. Turn around and see, like lower it to get rid of this black part. So you have to lower it, so say 375, right? And then set the 450 to 300, lower it. Now you're slowly getting rid of the black part. All right, and basically sometimes you're gonna have to lower even the middle parts. So how I got this to work is I lowered them both to 50 velocity. That's how I got it to work. So you have to lower these parts. If you're in this situation like me, lower these parts to 50 velocity. Boys, this is another interesting part. So now you got to add the text that says highlights, and then edited by, and then this. So basically you have to right click, insert video check. Okay, you're gonna want to insert at least 2. Okay, and then right click, insert text media, and then sample text. You're gonna want to go and download the font Dimbo. That's what I use. It's personal preference, but if you want to know the font I use, it's called Dimbo. Scroll over the sample text, click this, type in Dimbo. It should automatically type it in if you have the font. So basically you want to change this to highlights number 7 or whatever your thing is. You're gonna want to lower it down to size. We're not done yet, but what you're gonna want to do is make sure it's just fits the vicinity of the markers for each cinematic. Basically, you're gonna want to add drop shadow to this in effects, obviously. Alright, so you're gonna want to add drop shadow to this. Then to add better drop shadow, you have to type in drop shadow. So you have to have Sapphire and BCC plugins first of all. So now when you have Sapphire downloaded, look up a tutorial how to get Sapphire downloaded. Once you have Sapphire downloaded, go to drop shadow. Now I already have a setting for it, so I'm just gonna drag the default on, and that's how it looks. But I'm gonna use my setting, which is this. This is what I have mine at. So you can copy the settings right now if you want to. These are my settings. Here you go. Now it should just look like this. So that's boring, right? You want to add effects to that. So what I do is add warp waves, okay? And now I have a preset for it already. It's called a God wave. Add it on, and here's the settings for it. Copy the settings. All right. If you copy them, this is how it should look now. It's hard to see because it's really laggy, because of the warp waves effect. But trust me, it looks clean. If you can see it, I don't know if you can, but it's clean. Trust me. And what you're gonna want to do, the final thing you're gonna want to do for this is drag the fade all the way to 15, okay, on both sides. All right. So what you're gonna want to do now is go to transitions, go to the top. It should be at the very top, 3D blinds, okay. and then go to spin. Okay, now drag spin into the fade. Boom. All right, and make sure this says left to right for the first one. So as you can see, it drags in from the left. Boom, like this. And now add the same thing to the other fade, but instead of left to right, make it right to left. Okay, so now you're gonna want to add another text media. Okay, make sure it fits the markers, and then you're gonna want to add the picture link in the description for the Twitter icon. You're gonna want to add that, and then what you're gonna want to do now is make the sample text, right? Go over it and then make sure it's set the dimbo. That's what I like. It's personal preference, and then like right there. And then you're gonna want to make it your Twitter @. So type @ and I'll do mine, for example, Flaming BTW. Go follow it right now. Then what you're gonna want to do right now is do the same thing what you did with the last clips. Add warp wave and then add drop shadow. And then what you're gonna want to do now for this one is make this one a little smaller and put it over more to the side. And then you're gonna go on the Twitter icon, click the crop thing, go out a little bit, and then now you can move it around like this, right? So you're gonna want to put it like right there, and then go back, click this thing, go back, and then you're gonna need to drag it to right there. And you can add the warp wave effect on the Twitter one as well. So it looks like this. Now if you want to add the Twitch part of it too, you want to split these two clips, these two parts, delete. Go into the description and download this Twitch icon just to make it parallel. Put it like above the Twitter one, and then click this part, and then make sure it's like exactly the same size as the Twitter one. So like right there, drag this back, so now it's in the perfect spot. And I already have warp waves on it, so add the warp wave effect on it as well. And then you can Control C, Control V to copy that text, and then you're gonna want to go to the text and make sure there's no @ in it for the Twitch one, and boom. So it looks like that. Now you're gonna want to add the final effects, the fade effects. So drag this to 15 on every single thing. What you want to do, go to transitions and search up BCC blob swipe. It will be right here, and I'll drag this onto all the fades. Right, so you should have blob swipe for all of them. Alright, so this part is the use code and your code or whatever. Now this is the hashtag ad part that I do. So basically you're gonna want to go in 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Right there. Split. Same thing on this side. Now make sure this is dragged into 15 on every single spot. What you're gonna want to do is make this say use code flamed. Okay, in this part make it say hashtag ad, and then you're gonna want to make it bigger than the other part. So you're gonna want to make it bigger than the other part like this. And now from here what you do is, it looks off, right? Well, make sure go to video effects and make sure you have drop. Make sure you have the drop shadow on it. Also drop shadow on for the other one. You're gonna want to lower the opacity of hashtag ad. So you just basically hold the top right here, and I have mine at 39%, so like that. And then you're gonna want to add the same warp wave for both of them. So God wave, whatever you have yours saved as, like that. So what you're gonna want to do is go to transitions, search up barn door. Then find vertical out, no border, and make that the first fade on it. Vertical out, no border, and then vertical in, no border, make that the other fade on use code flamed, or on use code whatever. And then what I do for both the fades for hashtag ad is add blob swipe for both of them, for both of the fades. So yeah guys, that's basically the intro. Alright guys, now you're going to want to add your beat drop clip, and make sure you mark the beat drop. So I have the beat drop right here, and you're going to want to mark it. So click M so it marks it. I forgot to mention, what you want to do for a clean transition right here is drag this 15 parts in. So drag switch pan on, and make sure the transition says left, and it drags in like this. Goes over to this, like that. Then it looks like this. Like that. So what I do now, which is a simple thing you can do, so right click, insert envelope velocity. What you do is go to the beat drop, double click right on the marker, and then to add the point, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 markers to the right, add a dot, then go 1, 2, 3, 4 markers to the left, add another dot, and go to the middle dot, right click, set to, usually you can do 200 or 175. So just set it to 175. That's safe. That's more safe. Set it to 175. Make sure this dot is set to 175. Okay, so it looks like this. So it makes the beat drop look better. It basically speeds it up right before the shot. So boom, and then go slowly. Make sure you mark the next clip before you split. So right there's where you put the next beat drop. So basically right there, I'm gonna mark it. So you're gonna need the clip to go to there. So you're gonna see how long you want this, how fast you want this clip to end to go into the next clip, and then you hit that clip. So you're gonna want it to end like right there, basically. Click on this part, split, okay? And then you want to click the crop, and immediately drag this right on the item slots, so like right there. Go to the end and drag it back to normal. So it looks like this. Okay, and then now you're gonna want to add a shake effect. Go to video effects and find the shake effect, and here is my shake settings. If you want to copy, feel free to copy my shake settings if you want. Yeah, those are my shake settings. And what you're gonna want to do is go to the very top and animate, click this part, and go to the very end, drag to the very end, and then drag this to 0. So it fades all the way down to 0. So it adds a big shake, and it goes down to 0. Okay, and then what you're gonna want to add is the actual effect you're using. So the effect I'm going to be teaching you what to use is the Shockwave effect. So like this effect. I'll tell you how to make it really good. So basically, you're gonna want to control U this, delete the audio. Because there is no audio, then you're gonna want to right click, insert video track, put it right here. Okay. And if all of these aren't showing for you, you're gonna want to go to these 3 bars, right click, click edit visible button set, and click show all, then okay. Then it shows these all. Then you're gonna want to click on the A thing that's in the same thing as Shockwave. So you're gonna want to go to this part, and the same thing. Make sure the Shockwave has its own part, and then you're gonna want to go to it, click the A, and then click screen. So it looks like that. Alright, so basically what you're gonna want to do is add BCC LED. Okay. You're gonna want to add this on and drag it on top of the Shockwave effect. So basically, you're not gonna want to touch anything, but you're gonna want to drag X and make it the appropriate size. So it's personal preference basically. You don't want that, or you don't want that. You're gonna want somewhere like right here, almost. If it ends too quick, you're gonna want to hold control and drag it out a little bit more. So yeah, you're gonna want to mess around with the LED, honestly, like around here. Higher than this is like a little obnoxious, so you're gonna want to do something like that, see how it looks. So basically, yeah, basically that you know, just mess with it, and if that looks off, you're gonna want to make this black and white. So basically, you want to split this right here, search up black and white in the effects, drag it on, and make sure this is set to 0. Then click on the middle and set it to 0.9, and it should look like this. Alright, then now what you're gonna want to do is right click, insert video track again. So it inserts the video track under God Shockwave. Click this, Control C, Control V, but Control U this, take out the audio, drag this back. So there's two of the same thing. You're gonna ask, well, why do this? Add black and white on this. Straight up. Just straight up 0.9 throughout the whole thing on this. On this part. But then you drag this top part in and basically click the crop effect. Go down to where it says mask, okay? And then you're gonna want to drag this to a certain part. Make sure you have the circle clicked. Make sure it's on mask. And you're gonna want to slowly go over the middle of the screen. Like that. And then don't do anything. Just drag this to somewhere around here. And then stretch it across the whole screen. Stretch it across the whole screen. So right here's good. And then exit out. Now it should look like this. So take off the shockwave and it should look like this. See this circle coming through like that? Looking good, right? Well, what you should do, so experiment with it. So this is too fast, right? So drag this part and drag it out a little more and drag it out even farther. So you can even drag it out this far. Let's see how it looks. See, that's better, but I think that's too slow. So like right there. See this? So make sure the feather type is set to in, and then feather percent either 16 or 20. This part 2 in 16 should look like this. See, now it's not as just a straight circle. There's like a fade circle, right? Well, from here onto this part, you add brightness and contrast. Add brighter, more contrast, and then add glow. And now you're gonna want to lower this. So here's my glow effects. If you want to copy, here's my glow effects. And what you're gonna want to do is click animate. Go to the end. So animate, go to the end, drag this to the end on glow, drag to the end, and then drag this to 0. So you're gonna want to make sure the circle matches the shockwave. So as you can see, the circle is not fully in the shockwave right here. So you're gonna want to make this go faster. So like right there. So also what you can do in this clip to make it even better is add flicker. So here's the flicker I use if you want to copy it. But basically you go to amplitude. So basically set it to 0 for now. And then go to like right here, right? The middle. Go back to the effect 325. Because 400 might be a little too much, so let's see 325. So also what you're gonna want to do, this is one of the most important things. I cannot stress this enough. Go into the description and find the swoosh sound, okay? You're gonna need to add this, bro. And basically go all the way down and make sure the spike is like right there. So make sure the spike is on the beat drop, and you're gonna want to increase the sound. So I usually do like that much. So it looks like this. So you hear that? That little swoosh, it makes it way better. So now you're gonna want to bring your next clip. So this is my next clip, and then make it on the other marker, and you're gonna want to make sure it's right before the pellets. The beat drop is synced right before the pellets, so the frame right before it, right there. And then you can drag this all the way to the side, it's fine. And then what you're gonna want to do here, which is really important, is you're gonna want to add a clean transition. Transitions are easy to do. You're gonna want to click to the side 15 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, which is the arrow key to the left. Split. Same for this clip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay? And you're going to want to go to FX. You're going to want to go to this add effect. And then click screen pump A. Now, if you want all these effects, link down in the description. And you're going to need to download preset manager. Search up how to download preset manager for Vegas Pro 16 or whatever. And then make sure follow the instructions to add preset packs. I can't go over that in this tutorial. You're gonna have to do that yourself. Once you do, come back to here, and then what you're gonna want to do is add pump A, add okay. Now all you're gonna want to do is drag this all the way to the end and this part to 6, like that, so it gives this effect. See, like zooms in like that. It's right here, FX, and then add screen pump B. You don't need to add anything from here, so it's good. So it looks like this. See that little pump effect? See, so what effect? That's the other clip. So basically, go to the marker, then make sure you have right click, insert envelope, velocity. You have velocity added. Then make sure you double click the marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add another marker, and then you're gonna want to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, add another marker. Okay, and then what you're gonna want to do is go to this, right click, make sure it's set to 175 or 200, whatever your preference is. Right click, 50%, and then so boom. Make sure you have the next speed drop marked before you continue editing on with this. So the next beat drops right here, so I'll mark it. So now you get to see where you should end the clip going into the next clip. So I'll end it like right there. Alright, so now you're gonna want to split it right here. Go here, do the same thing from last clip. Drag it up, it's like right there. Drag it back. What you should do is add flicker to a kill as well. Here's my flicker settings if you want to copy them. Basically go to animate, drag to the end, lower it to 0. And now same for shake. You guys already got my shake settings. You guys already know shake, I already showed you. So click, animate, go to the side, 0. That's for shake. And now you're gonna want to add an actual effect. Now you're gonna want to add another effect. So go to glow, and now here's a glow effect, which is really clean. You can copy the settings right now if you want to. Here are the settings if you want to copy them. And now have it. You want to have this like a lot, so like 2,000, so or whatever you want. Just mess with it, see what's clean and what's not. So I'll put mine right here, and then animate it and go to the very end and drag this to 0. So it looks like this. See, this montage is kind of fast paced, so the effects wear off quickly, but you know what I mean. But don't forget to add the swoosh sound effect. You have to add this sound effect. It's crucial, okay? Make sure you're saving as you're going so Vegas Pro doesn't crash. Alright, so now drag in your next clip. So set it right before the pellets. So basically right there. And then make sure it's dragged to the end. Now you're gonna want to add another transition. So you want to go 15 slides on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Split, go to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then split. And then what you're gonna want to do is go to here, go to add. And what I like to do next is add zoom out A. So make sure that this is set to 9. The middle part set to 9, and the other part set to the very end, and then the left part set to 6. So it looks like this. Add the same velocity. So velocity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's, you know the drill. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then boom, set to 175, and then set to 50%. So I'll split right here, crop it. Make sure it's cropped all the way up to the guns, where the guns are. Drag it back. We already went through this, so add flicker. You're gonna want to add your flicker. I already showed you the settings, so make sure it's drag to 0, animate, drag to 0. Shake, drag shake on. I already showed you the settings. Animate, go to the very end, drag to 0. And then now you're gonna want to add, for the effect that I use, distort RGB. Now I have a thing already set for it. Here's what it is. If you want to copy the settings for it, animate it, animate the amount, go to the very end, go over it, 0, and then it still looks like this, like that. So yeah, that's it for that clip. So alright guys, now for the sniping clip. So you're gonna want to make sure for sniping, this is what I do. I add right as you see blue. So basically right there. I want to do the transition first. So go to 15 slides on this one, now 15 on this side, then go to effects. And then now for this one, add pump again, which is what I do. Pump A, add okay. Drag to the very end, drag to 6. Boom. Same for this side. FX. Pump B, add okay. And then B, you can just leave the same. So basically, what we always been doing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Split it. Crop it up to the mark, to the guns. Crop it back. Then you want to add your shake. Already showed you the settings, just drag it on. Animate, drag to the end, 0. Same for flicker. Go to the very end, add the flicker, drag it back. 200, drag it back. Animate it, drag it to the end, drag it to 0. And then for the glow for snipers, what I like to do, because it's on like a distance, right? So what I like to do for snipers is add aqua glow. Okay, copy my settings. Here's my settings if you want to copy them. But then you want to animate, and then drag it to 0. So aqua, I really like aqua for snipes, so it's good like this. Alright guys, we're running a little short on time, so I have to hurry. So basically for the last clip, all you gotta do is sync it with the beat drop, and then it's the same as always, same everything, like crop it, same effect, same everything. And then all I did is add glow for the last effect, and shake and flicker obviously, but for the glow, here's my glow settings. Let's get on to the render settings. Alright guys, for project media settings, so go up here, and then you can either use 1440p or 4K. I like to use 4K, so use 4K. And the frame rate, set it to 60. Put this to off. Switch full resolution rendering quality to best. Switch motion blur type to Gaussian. This to none. And resample mode to disable resample. Okay, then go to file. And my render settings are. So frame size 4K, I render in 4K. You can render in 1440p, but same thing. Profile high. My bitrate, I have that at 130,000. That's like pretty good. Encode mode, make it NV encoder. Preset high quality. RC mode, VBR high quality. Go to project. And rendering quality, make it best. Alright guys, I just got done editing this whole video. If you guys made it to the end, thank you for watching the whole video through. It means a lot. I hope I helped you out in this video. I hope you make a fire highlights video. Comment down below if you enjoyed this video. Sorry for the long video, it's just it takes really long to explain the intros and everything. But yeah, thank you for everybody watching the video. Comment hashtag BHFlaming. Subscribe, give me to 3K. Alright boys, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.